I'm Davy, and I'm awesome, and welcome to Davy's Awesome Movies, where I review the styles of movies that I love, the alternative, B-rated, cult-style flicks. And this is definitely a cult flick. This movie was made in 1990, and it was directed by Craig R. Bailey, and produced by Jeff Young, John Turtle, Raphael Eisman, Mark Damon, and David Saunders. And it was written by Leonard Moss Jr., and was made by MGM Entertainment, Epic Productions, Transworld Entertainment, Vision International, and Vision PDG. Holy crap, did everybody just contribute $5? And it was distributed by Triumph Releasing Corporation and Vision PDG. Okay, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, the 1990 cult flick, Dark Angel. The movie opens with a guy almost hitting a bus, and somehow this making him end up in a Christmas tree lot. Whoa. And out of that explosion comes this guy.
I come in peace.
In the original US release, I could sit there and start going, he said it, but not in the copy I got. Then we cut to a guy who broke into a police station. Who's really ballsy to do that in a police station?
What seems to be the problem here, officer?
The knife in his chest is probably a little uncomfortable. He's working with yet another guy dressed as a cop, trying to get drugs out of their evidence locker.
Must be some party. Pardon me, officer?
You know, it would be a whole lot easier and a ton less risky to just buy more drugs. Okay, now you're the most wanted men in America.
No witnesses.
Yeah, and I'm sure every cop in the United States would just give up because they're like, well, no witnesses. I guess just they're getting away with it. No. You'd be caught in an hour. Those guys change out of those cop uniforms and into suits to go sell some of these drugs that they just got, unbeknownst to them being staked out by this guy.
I didn't listen, so I felt the only way to exploit my talents was...
That's Sergeant Jack Kane, played by Dolph Lundgren. But as Sergeant Kane is listening in on this drug deal going on, across the street, this is happening. Okay, liquor store getting robbed or international drug bust. Is that really a tough call? Not for him. But inside the drug deal going on that the sergeant is no longer listening to, the drug dealers unveil that they know who it is that's giving him the cash.
Detective Ray Turner?
Such bad timing. So yeah, I think in this instance you should have just let them rob the liquor store and get the $200 in the register, because it really wouldn't have compared to your partner being shot and killed! As the drug runners are cleaning up...
I come in peace.
But does he really? No. Jack finally starts paying attention when this happens. So Jack Kane runs over. Finally.
Ray!
Yeah, well, you were saving the liquor store from losing $100 and a case of Twinkies. Your partner was being shot and killed. The FBI shows up, and they want to pull Detective Kane aside and talk to him privately. So they go into a men's room while there's a cop inside using the men's room. So, of course, they tell the cop, finish up and leave. They didn't say you couldn't wash your hands!
Ew.
They ask about the murders. And not just Ray, his partner, but the other drug dealers that were in there. They know that Jack has been working on this case for a long time. They want to know where they can find Victor Manning, the head drug boss. And the FBI even tells Jack that as of this moment, he's part of their team. Now let's hope during the next raid, you're not out stopping a jaywalker. And the next day, he meets his new partner.
Partner?
Kane, meet Special Agent Smith.
You're kidding, right?
Played by Brian Benben. His name is fun to say. After they get acquainted and immediately dislike each other, we cut to a woman in a homeless shelter. Yeah! Hey, I held back as best I could, but that's like the third explosion in the first 20 minutes. Oh, it wasn't the blonde alien, it was another alien. Does he come in peace too? Then we go to a bail bondsman.
I come in peace.
That thing you stuck in his chest begs to differ. I'm starting to think you don't come in peace. At the crime scene, Larry and Jack find the murder weapon. Well, that was freaky. Back to the bad alien. He didn't say it. Apparently the first arrow that he puts in their chest releases a sedative.
We don't care if you get it.
And then the spike goes into their brain and pulls out a bunch of goo. It was really cool. But then... So there's a good alien and a bad alien. Now, if you watch the movie, they don't actually give a name to either of these aliens. They just basically let you know one's good, one's bad. But in the credits, they actually give them a name. They casted them as a name, which is weird. How are you going to give them a name in the credits but not a name in the movie? Whatever. So, just so I don't have to constantly say good alien, bad alien, the bad alien is Talik, whereas the good alien is Azek. Jack gives the disc that murdered all those people to a friend, and then goes to see his girlfriend, Diane, and spends the night. And when he gets home, his door is open and his place is trashed.
I think you've been robbed.
Duh.
And then... Well, at least he's an equal opportunity brain sucker. Larry and Jack go to meet with a lab tech who's been studying that disc.
I gotta relax.
The hell was that?
Extra caffeine.
Yeah, extra caffeine is totally what you need. This scientist has figured out that this particular spinning blade disc thing is actually an extremely strong magnet, one able to keep moving in perpetual motion simply because of the small electrical currents that we all have in our human bodies. Okay, then they go to visit Diane. She's a coroner, and she's figured out that what's being injected into their chest is actually heroin. That's quite a sedative. And she's still working out on figuring what's going on with the head wound.
Sorry.
Jack and Larry get a note from Victor Manning that he's in Rio and that he's sending his partner Warren after them. Makes no sense. Why would you give away that incriminating evidence unless you never plan to come back to the United States? So that's the end of Victor Manning in this movie. It's now his partner Warren, which I guess they had to recast? I don't know. I mean, it's not the worst way I've seen a recasting explained. And Warren is again Victor Manning's partner of this drug-dealing gang called the White Boys. Seriously, you couldn't come up with a better gang name than the White Boys? That doesn't sound like a drug-dealing gang. That sounds like a subdivision of the KKK. That's the White Boys, by the way. I love that gun. They get away from those two White Boys and get to their headquarters, and Kane storms in, leaving Larry downstairs, and confronts Warren in a meeting.
Sit down, Warren.
But they turn things around on him. Kane, you're a crappy partner. And from this, they tell Sergeant Kane that they've got a risky drug trade coming up and that he's going to perform it for them, or they're going to kill Larry. So Sergeant Kane goes to deliver these drugs and get the money. I guess that's why it was so risky. So Sergeant Kane chases after this guy, but when he finds him, Talik is there. So is Azek. And amidst all the commotion, maybe you should have tried doing that earlier. After this is all done, Jack goes back to Diane to see what she's found out. What she's found out is that what's being sucked out of the brain is endorphins. Endorphins caused by, obviously, the high of a heroin. And by sucking out the endorphins...
Theoretically, you'd have your hands on a nearly perfect drug.
So Talik is using drugs to make better drugs. So he's like intergalactic meth dealer? Jack has a theory.
I think we're dealing with aliens and not from Mexico.
Bravo! He gets it! Larry doesn't believe it, though. So they go back to the lab to get the disc, and it's gone.
Tried to lie. Swear it. They knew I had it.
Well, he's beaten up, but at least he's calmer. Then we see another gunfight between Talek and Azek.
No!
That's bad. When Jack and Larry get to the crime scene, it's been blocked off by the FBI, and Jack has officially been taken off the case.
As of this moment, you are officially on vacation.
So Jack accepts it and goes to Diane to make plans to go on a trip. Diane goes to quit her job so she can go on this trip, and when Jack gets into the car...
He must be stopped.
Oh, Jack, you were this close to being on a plane to Tahiti or Fiji or Victorville.
Who are you?
An officer of the law. Like you.
So Azek is an alien cop. Larry gets in the car, and as Azek is slowly dying, he tells them who Talek is. A drug dealer from his planet who came over here to get endorphins off of humans because at his planet it's extremely rare and also extremely expensive, but here he can get it done very cheap by slaughtering thousands.
If he returns, others will come.
And after he tells them where to find Talek, he finally dies.
His body. We've got proof.
Yeah, but then this happens. All the darn luck. But Larry was able to get his gun.
I'm taking this to Switzer.
The lead FBI guy.
First the disc and now this.
It was them that took it, by the way. The FBI doesn't want to kill the alien. They want to capture it and study it. Blah, blah, blah. Government cliche that happens in every movie. When there's a dangerous alien killing people, like, let's let it kill people and study it because we're evil. And, yep, cliche, 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 cliche. And of course, cliche, when Larry reports back to his superior and gives him the gun, he is uneasy about it because this alien is killing people.
Trust me.
Yeah!
Thanks for helping me out back there.
You get it.
So they're partners again. And now it's time for the showdown. Talek gets away, but they get something from him.
It's the endorphins.
Jack and Larry go back to Jack's apartment to come up with a plan of how to get Talek, just as Diane knocks on the door ready for their vacation. And Jack goes about getting her out of there because it is not safe.
What the hell is going on?
It's not Talek, it's the white boys. But then... well, one problem solved, and a chase ensues. Let's go to the mall today. The chase continues until... oh yeah, I got a big alien gun. Man, this guy's tough. They stop at an abandoned warehouse, because cliche, and pick a spot where Larry can get a clear shot of Talek.
Smith, it's empty. Come on, let's get out of here.
Of course. Apparently the actor who played Talek, Matthias Hughes, had to do all of his own stunts. Not because he's one of those guys who's like, I can do it, but because they couldn't find a double big enough to double for him, considering he's 6'5". Eventually Jack lures Talek to a spot alone with the endorphins. And thinks on his feet. But it doesn't really help. That was close. Get over here! And he drags him closer. Oh, you can say something else. Yeah! And then... yeah! Finish him! Yeah!
Can we please go on vacation now?
I promised.
So that's Dark Angel, the 1990 cult flick. This movie had an $8 million budget, but only did about $4.5 million in the box office. However, this movie did make money, mostly overseas. It was very big in the UK. In fact, it was one of the top 10 rentals in the UK for about 7 or 8 weeks. Now, most of you probably haven't heard of this movie, Dark Angel. In fact, when you hear the name Dark Angel, you're probably thinking of the 2000 TV series starring Jessica Alba. It was a great series, I'm not gonna lie. But the reason you haven't probably heard of Dark Angel is because upon its initial release in the United States in 1990, it was actually released under the name I Come in Peace. That was a move that the producers decided to make, the director didn't like, because of the fact that in 1925 and 1935, there were movies called The Dark Angel, and they didn't want it to get confused. However, in every other country this movie was released, in Europe, in Canada, what have you, it was released under the name Dark Angel. Now, when I was a kid, I saw it as the movie I Come in Peace with my brother. It was a movie we loved. We rented it several times from our local Blockbuster, and we enjoyed it. Then as we grew up, we had trouble finding it because of the fact that now you can't really find it under the name I Come in Peace. You can find like people selling their old VHS copies on eBay, but that's about it. However, in places like Amazon, you can order a DVD or Blu-ray copy, but it is going to come under its original name, Dark Angel, which is why I decided to review it under the name Dark Angel. One, because of that fact that I want you guys to seek these movies out, because this was a good movie. It was a little cliche, but ultimately had plenty of action, had plenty of drama, and it was an interesting original story that really I haven't seen done since. Maybe in the comment section you can tell me about some other movies where space aliens came down to make drugs out of our brains, but I haven't yet seen one. And I highly recommend it. That's the biggest reason I decided to go ahead and review this under the name Dark Angel, instead of the name that I originally knew it under as I Come in Peace, because you're not really going to find it under the name I Come in Peace anymore. That and the copy I have says Dark Angel, so I went with Dark Angel. But ultimately, whether you want to get it as Dark Angel or you want to get a bootleg copy of I Come in Peace, I highly recommend you check out Dark Angel / I Come in Peace. So there you have it. That's my review this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications for when I post videos, and leave a comment. Tell me if you've seen Dark Angel or I Come in Peace. Tell me what you thought of Dark Angel or I Come in Peace. Love you guys.